Yes, I want to stream.
Take two?
Yeah, I guess it's take two. I guess I blew my wad a little early on that one, didn't I, Jay? So, all right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Tech Talk 45 with Barnacules, Nerdgasm, and
Jay's 2 cents.
We did it. Now, we just did that like before, except for what Jay was talking about in chat is I forgot to hit the preview button, and then I forgot to hit the stream button in YouTube. Somehow, I just magically thought it would just start working.
It was funny because you went to take a leak, and I hear you. You're like, oh my God, I'm coming. And you're like running, and you sat down, and you're like, okay, and we're live. Hey, guys, it's Barnacules, and I'm Jay's 2 cents. But are you sure we're streaming? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of caught me a little off guard. Dude, I thought we were going to be like down to the minute this time. I thought we had this on lockdown.
It's not my fault.
I'm a noob. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm a noob. So you guys, during the show, we're going to be answering a lot of questions in and out. We don't really have a document or anything cool going on. Yeah, we're going to just freeball this one tonight. So if you want to ask us a question, head over to Twitter, use hashtag AskTechTalk. And you can ask us anything, but chances are we're not going to answer it if it has like really, really demeaning shit in it. Unless it's funny demeaning shit, then we might do it. All right, so let me, I'm going to pull up the questions so we can see them over here on the Twitski. Let's go ahead and kick it off and answer a couple.
You should have told me you didn't have the new image where it has our social media on it. You just have all that blank space underneath you, like we don't know center from
Dude, it says that Barnacules and it says that. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Here, you want me to fill that blank space in for you, Jay?
Well, remember, I have that one that has our social media on it.
No, it's okay. I'm going to fill it in for you with something better. Okay, guys, you want to see? I'm going to fill this in with something better for Jay here.
And I'm not going to see it for a minute.
It's okay. You'll see it in a minute, Jay, but it's actually better that you don't get to react to it right away because I want it to sink in with everybody. Because this is going to be something you're really going to like this, Jay. I saw that empty space in the background for the stream, and I was like, you know what? I can fill this with something that Jay will appreciate. And he's just really, really going to like. So, guys, just wait for it.
It's a Titan Z that's going to pop up, isn't it?
Fuck. Really? Am I that predictable?
Oh my God! I just have a feeling it's going to be a Titan Z. It's going to pop up. Yeah, because this is why I can't enjoy movies either. Because I'm like, yep, he did it. It was him. He did it with the candlestick and the sun.
You basically ruined it. I spent at least 45 seconds of my day today making that graphic, and now you'll never ruined it. Do you see it in the stream now?
No, I should refresh the stream to see. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Brought to you by Titan Z. Okay, guys, that's a total gag. Titan Z didn't bring anything to anyone except for a bill and a second mortgage and another credit card payment. That's about the only thing Titan Z has brought.
Did you hear that NVIDIA did not send out a single review sample for those?
Oh, I believe it with the price.
All the reviews that you see are actually purchased units. In fact, Hardware Canucks was the ones that were like, we're mad at NVIDIA for not even being willing to return our emails about that. So they borrowed one from a friend and then they ripped it apart.
Nice. Oh, hey, we've got an important question over here because it's in all caps.
Oh, go.
Infinity Custom says, fuck Twitter, you're on YouTube. Read your YouTube comments, bitch. All right, well, Infinity Customs, I'm going to right-click and click block user and hit OK.
It's like,
gone.
Well, basically how it goes is like, okay, Robert Hart says, and it's off the screen. It scrolled away.
You guys, the comment system, it flows by way too fast. It's kludgy. It hangs. It gets stuck. I can't type and respond to half the stuff. That's why we're using Twitter. Twitter, I come over here and I can see every single thing people ask. It's nice. What?
Wait, donde? KS kludgy.
KS kludgy.
No, you said kludgy. It's kludgy. What is kludgy?
Oh, kludgy? No, kludge. It's like screwed up. It's a mess. It's a kludge.
Is that like a Seattleite thing?
Might be. We use it a lot up here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that Titan Z thing because that's bugging me now.
I can't.
Right. Bye-bye, Titan Z. We love you. Not really. Piece of shit.
Adios, mother beep.
Wait, is the audio not working? Audio. Seems to be working fine for me. All right, so let's see. Was there anything in the news you wanted to talk about this week?
I've even looked at the news.
Uh-oh. Oops. Well, God, we fail as tech reviewers.
Well, I mean, we wanted to do more. People were always like, you never interact with us. And then we read the comments, and it's all stupid stuff.
All right, well, let's interact with these guys a little bit.
Titan Z, bitch. Titan Z, comments. Titan Z, unsub. Titan Z. I mean,
Titan Z, unsub. Titan Z sending you a bomb in the mail. Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, so let's go ahead and answer some of the questions. So I'm watching the stream. There's a lot of questions coming in. This actually worked out really well. So we got Celtic Fox. He says, will you ever get your own movie? I mean, we kind of already have one, right? I mean, YouTube. We make little movies every day.
Yeah.
Do you mean like motion picture? Like J.J. Abrams kind of shit? Like, I hope so.
What would be funny? I want to poll the audience. who would play us? That's what I want them to answer. Is who would be casted to play you, and who would be casted to play me?
I would say, actually, yeah, do that, guys. Hashtag. Who would play you?
Playing me.
Who would play you? Hashtag who would play you? We'll go look at that one. But I'd have to say it'd be Chunk from the Goonies. But I saw a picture of him recently, and he lost all the weight. He's like all like handsome and stuff. So
I know. I showed that picture to Jenny. I'm like, look, Chunk grew up, and she was like,
yeah, no, Chunk got a swerve on. I think he was even on Tosh.0 too. I was like, I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, he sort of like kicked life's ass, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I'm just gonna eat a bag of Cheetos and forget I ever saw that picture. Okay, anyways, so Finrar, he has asked, what are your opinions on the Razer Blade? Now, the Razer Blade, for you guys that don't know, is a laptop that's incredibly thin, incredibly powerful, and it's pretty much targeted at gamers. It's got a touchpad with an integrated screen in it. It's pretty much badass. Like, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of Razer's products, I'll be honest. I think they're like they're like jewelry. They focus more on the looks of the product than the functionality. The Razer Blade would be my exception.
Trendy.
They're very trendy, but I would say other than the price, the Razer Blade calls a ridiculous price. For what it is, but I would say I would absolutely love to own one. I mean, I've seen some videos of people playing high-end games on them with the graphics cranked, and that little thin laptop it packs a pretty mighty wallop. But I think they're like freaking, what are they, like almost $3,000 for the top model? I mean, that's for a laptop. Yeah. Jesus, that's.
I saw the first I almost said Titan Z. I saw the.
Well, it costs as much as a Titan Z. It's probably because I said $3,000.
That's what I was going to work my way up to. Is I saw the first Razer Blade when it first came out in CES 2013. It didn't have an HD screen. I mean, it had an i5 and an i7 in it, blah blah blah. But it was super overpriced. And the new one, I haven't gotten to see it firsthand or anything. But to me, it's like the Titan of laptops in terms of price to performance. I think there's better options.
But see, that's the problem with computers, and this is true for desktop computing too, is to get the first 90% costs like half as much as getting that last 10%. It's like $1,500 you can build something that's 90% in every single way, the top system you can build. It's that 10% that costs you that extra money. It's the same with cars too, right? You go buy a car, it's like that Tesla Model S, right? You get the base model, what is it, like $80,000, and then the top tier model is like $120,000, and what does that buy you, that extra $40,000? A bigger motor and more batteries. I mean, everything else is exactly the same.
I just want to point out there's quite a few people casting Jonah Hill for you. I think I agree.
You know what? I would be honored. I would be absolutely fucking honored to have Jonah Hill play me in anything. Like even a porn.
Put on a little more weight, though.
Wait. He would or me?
He would. No, he lost a lot of weight, like a ton of weight.
Yeah, he did. You're a dick, Jay. Jay, I stepped on the scale this morning. I'm only 292 pounds. So you shut up, fat ass. You're heavier than me. You're also like 2 feet taller than me, but still, that doesn't matter. Gravity's a bitch. All right, so let's see.
The whole time you were here, I just wanted you to be like, "Keep playing, boss, keep playing."
You know what's funny though, Jay? You weren't as big as I was expecting. Like seriously, when you came to the airport and you picked me up, I was expecting your head to be sticking out a sunroof and like your arm out reaching around resting on the hood of the car. I mean, I thought that you were actually going to be a lot bigger than you were. So
I don't know. I don't know whether or not to be happy or sad about that.
You should be sad because that's like the only thing you got going for you, and I took it away from you. Holy shit, Swashin's in the house. Woo! Pimp my setup.
Well, come on. Let's be honest here. I am a pretty supersized individual.
You're a big dude.
The thing with me is I'm not like some people have like a really fat. Some people have like a really big gut. Some people have like a really big. I'm just proportionately like.
Yeah.
I'm like it's like somebody pushed Control T in Photoshop and just stretched out the corner when it comes to me.
Ooh, I just learned a Photoshop macro. Yes.
Control T, buddy. There you go. Transform.
And like you so kindly pointed out when I got there, is you're like, yeah, you just carry it all in your gut. I was like, I do.
I was like, no, you're normal everywhere.
Okay, you just got like so that makes Jay is like Grimace. Do you know like Grimace from McDonald's? That's Jay. Jay is Grimace. He's like 8.5 feet tall and shaped like a Christmas tree. And then you got me over here on the other hand, and I'm like that guy from was it Mega Man or whatever, the boss. Like he's just a round guy with like a round head and then tiny little legs. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Every time we went walking around somewhere to like at the MLG, I kept hearing that.
One, you were hearing it because we were like humming it the whole time.
Well,
oh my God! GameSync said that you should be played by Channing Tatum. Oh my really? God! Somebody's sucking up. Oh
my wife would like that.
Oh my God, Channing Tatum. Yeah, no, my wife too. She has a thing.
Maybe if Channing Tatum went strictly on a Big Mac diet.
Yeah, for like 2 years. But Channing, let's see. I think my wife's pick order would be like Channing Tatum would be up there. I think Vin Diesel, Channing Tatum, Tay Diggs, and The Rock would probably be the fourth.
Obviously, we're not talking about people casting us.
No. Wait, there we go. These are people our wife wishes we were.
Okay, there we go. Our movie, but casted by I'm Channing Tatum and you're The Rock, and they have to be us. Could you imagine how out of character that would look for them?
The entire movie would be these incredibly athletic people sitting in front of a computer yelling at 12-year-olds.
And you know what? I would pay to see it.
You guys have to admit that would be a funny movie to go see, like where they take two really fit individuals and then have them play the part of otherwise really nerdy, heavy guys that are lazy and just want to sit around and play on their computers all day. That would be epic. Oh my god!
Almost as funny as casting very overweight individuals to play athletes.
That would be funnier, though, in my opinion. I think it would be cool to have a movie where it's like kung fu, but with like sumo-sized people. And like every scene is them like breathing heavy. Oh, actually, this just reminded me of something. New TV show came on. It's called, Jesus Christ, it's these fat guys that build cars. And the name of the show even implies they're fat.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like Rolling Thunder, Fat and Furious. Fat and the Furious, Rolling Thunder. Yep. I've been watching this show, and I'm not even kidding. These are some big dudes. These guys are a lot bigger than even Jay and I. And they're building these cars, and seriously, the show is like every 5 minutes, it's them eating stuff and then working on cars, eating stuff and then working on cars. And then at the end, they go really fast in these cars, and I'm like, I like this show. I genuinely like that show.
They'll run like a 10-second quarter mile, and you put an average guy in there, it's like a 9.5.
But that's just it, is they build a car that can handle a big dude. So, hey, my hat's off to them. Hey, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button down there. We got 640 people in here and only 161 likes. Would love to get that up. Also, go tweet out the stream. That would be phenomenal.
It's gonna be a quick stream, guys. We want to end as close to 7 as possible. Jerry's family's going away for the weekend, and I've got that thing over there to finish because the package that I needed to finish it came in the mail finally. You pay for expedited overnight shipping, and it comes 4 days later.
And I need to try to get you guys a vlog tonight, and I got to start unboxing. Oh my god!
I've got a topic I think we should talk about though, which I think is pertinent.
I want to unbox these so bad. All right, what's your topic?
I have a topic.
Topic us.
All right, so, because I think it's a little controversial. Like it's one of those topics that's on the fence when it comes to public's opinion on how it should be handled. I know, right? We've talked about before data caching, geocaching of data on your cell phones and stuff. Like, oh, we don't want people geocaching our data. We want to control that. So people turn off location services on most of their apps and stuff.
Right.
So this was a study put out by the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, and they found that through the Freedom of Information Act, it shows that 9 out of 10 wireless 911 calls made in Washington, D.C. Were without location. Like you call 911 from your landline, they know where you are. Even if you're like,
absolutely.
They can send help.
Yep.
On a cell phone, I know this firsthand, fortunately, because I have law enforcement in the family and friends, and I've been on ride-alongs with them where it'll come over the radio like unknown trouble in the vicinity of, and it's like a 3-block radius because the cell phone triangulation on the phone call is not as precise as data from GPS. So they're like, oh, somebody needs help in like this area. Go check out the area. Well, if you're calling from inside a house or a backyard, you're kind of effed. Yeah. So it's a 9 out of 10. I didn't realize it was that high though. But I don't have a landline in my home. We have cell phones only here. So I'm a prime example.
Yeah, that's actually that's a tough one because as long as the phone's using your GPS locator, that's one thing. But if it's using cellular triangulation, I mean that stuff can be off by like a mile.
Yeah.
So if it's GPS, then big deal. If you're in the house, they're gonna come within 15 feet of you as long as you got a good GPS signal. But like you said, in the house you might not, right?
But the point is, people are outraged at the idea of their cell phones tracking their exact location. So you're outraged, but then if you need help and they can't get to you, do you remain outraged?
No, I always thought that like that was a special case. I thought that you were allowed to disable the location services, but 911 was allowed to use them. Like, if you disable them on your phone, I mean, 911 literally can't use it?
I'm going to go through my settings right now. I'm pretty sure I thought I saw that there was even a 911 location override.
That would piss me the hell off, because when I call 911, chances are I'm in a situation where I'm going to be a man of few words before I die. So I'm not going to be like, hey, can you come find me? I'm at latitude and longitude next to the pine tree 30 feet back by the river by the big gray rock. I'm not going to be able to say that.
But there's another aspect to this, though. Is what cell carrier do you have?
I'm using AT&T right now, yeah.
Okay. Verizon cannot send data and a phone call at the same time. It still can't do that.
Really?
I mean, that's a CDMA limitation.
Oh my god.
So when you're on the phone with
Are they the only CDM carrier, or are there other CDMA carriers?
T-Mobile's the other CDMA carrier.
Oh, screw them. I'm never using either of them then. That's stupid.
So on Verizon, even currently, you still cannot send a phone call. You can't call 911 and then get accurate GPS data because it can't send the data at the same time.
Oh, it's funny. Somebody said that your audio is a little out of sync, and I noticed it is, but it's so fractional, it just kind of looks like somebody's dubbing you over.
I'm like a bad Japanese movie.
It's not bad enough to worry about, guys. Trust me, you guys. If we start screwing with stuff, it's going to go downhill quick. It always does. Yeah. Absolutely, always does.
So guys, check all your phones. Look through your settings. See if there is like a 911 location setting. I'm looking through my iPhone now. I could have swore there was one, but I'm not. I think it's going to be under privacy or location services. But I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter. Like if my phone can't send a location when I'm on the phone with them, then what's it matter anyway, right?
The problem is how many people truly know where they're at. Like, I mean, I know there's the people that are like, in another life, they could like navigate by sextant and the scars and the smell of a fart coming out of a bird over the ocean. But anyways, how well are you at navigating? Like, if I even just went down the street like 2 blocks, I wouldn't know how to tell them where the hell I was.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the streets and stuff. Like, so I wouldn't know what to do. So it's like, so I just want to hold the cell phone up and have an ambulance pull up and push me in the back. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. One of the things a lot of law enforcement go through in training is situational and locational awareness. And when I think I mentioned it a few weeks back, I actually was in the process of getting hired with the California Highway Patrol back in like 2001. And one of the things that they used to do is they would like an FTO or somebody. They would basically just when you're driving, just randomly be like, "Where are we? What's behind us? What street's in front of us? Which way are we facing?" Like just an instant, like boom, you just got shot at. Something just happened. Call it the location. And if you couldn't do it, that was actually a pretty bad thing. And
I'd imagine in law enforcement that's kind of a big deal to be able to like instantly know where bullets are coming from.
The point I'm getting at is how many people, even trained law enforcement or emergency responders, have an issue with anxiety and being able to accurately get out the information of where you are. So you take the average person whose kid is choking, being attacked by a dog, or missing, and you add panic to that, nobody's going to know where they are. So that location services is important.
All right, guys, so you heard it here first. Turn on your location services, and if you accidentally venture into a strip club, just enable airplane mode. And then you can turn it off when you're 3 to 5 blocks away from it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair assessment. And if you die in the strip club, well, you know where you're at. So if you call 911, you can just be like, I'm at the then you'll probably just die because you'll be too embarrassed to tell him.
I'm gonna say this for Tim Mulholland just so he knows that it's live. I'm gonna say, I thought it.
I'll get to the chopper.
Yes.
You said chopper, Jay. Yeah, you did.
Chopper.
Yes. We just probably lost like half our viewers with that little spiel. Dude, there's some cool people showing up. Dude, we got front page tech up in the house. Yeah. What's going on?
The last page tech.
Hey, John Prosser is an angel, you son of a bitch. Just kidding. Here, look, you want to take a couple more questions? Let's see. All right, so we talked about the Razer Blade. Let's see. Okay, so Dirk Fetterman, that sounds like a 007 spy, says, "Are you guys crazy?" I'll let you guys be the judge. You'd have to be crazy. Jay, just say it. You're crazy,
okay.
Right?
Jamie says Jay is wrong. T-Mobile uses GSM. He's probably right.
Okay, well then I would use T-Mobile.
Verizon is really like the last of the Mohicans of the CDMA.
Yeah, Verizon needs to seriously like step up their game and like actually install some antennas that aren't from the 70s. Oh my god. All right, well anyways, yes, we are crazy because to do YouTube you got to be crazy. All right, so let's see.
And Yoda Graham is saying Verizon 4G LTE is not CDMA, it's GSM. Well, guess what? On Verizon, you still cannot make a phone call on an LTE device and make a simultaneous data. You can't. Like right now, I could show you on my phone right now. The moment I make a phone call, my LTE turns into 1x.
Uh-oh. Larry's done it. Larry Jones has done it. He said no Beavis and Butthead. Oh, my gosh.
I don't even do Beavis. I hate Beavis and Butthead myself. So.
Jay. That's gonna, right. We're going to need therapy to recover from that one.
Joey Cho, you're banned for life. He said Justin Bieber to play Jay's 2 cents.
Oh, my God. How could you?
Banned for life. Banning you everywhere now. I'm going to come over to your house and just stamp banned on your forehead.
Robert Tar says, Jerry is whacked, Jerry is cracked. Yes, I am. Jacob Gibbs says, NVIDIA Shield, your thoughts? It's cool for flying the AR drone. Other than that, not really. I mean, I'll be honest. If you're a hardcore gamer, the NVIDIA Shield is a badass piece of tech. And the feature where you do the live streaming over the LAN does work, but you have to have a really good access point. You have to be really close to it to get a signal that's literally lag-free. I tried playing from my bedroom. I tried playing on the toilet, and it was a horrible experience. So, but I do use it to fly my Parrot AR drone quadcopter, and it's a hell of a lot better flying it using the NVIDIA Shield than it is actually using a phone. So for that, I love it. I saw somebody's coming to Seattle tomorrow. Oh my God. Stalkers are coming out. Loopy123, I'm coming to Seattle tomorrow. All right, Loopy, I'm going to lock the doors and batten down the windows. No, I'm just kidding.
Batten down the hatches.
Todd Sempler said he unsubscribed. All right, Todd. Well, it was nice knowing you, man. You were actually my best friend, and I was just getting ready to send you a brand new gaming PC. But since you unsubbed, I guess I'm going to have to just keep it now.
Tasty Midget says, can I use conductive thermal paste for the GPU? If you want a very high likelihood of destroying it, sure, go for it.
Just don't get it over the edges. You'll be fine. Jay's just panicking. All right, so let's see. For going back to Twitter, we have a question from Avery Mock said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how expensive is the hobby of 3D printing after you bought the printer? All right, well, I'll be honest. I get a lot of filament from companies that want me to try out their materials, so I haven't had to buy a lot of filament myself. But I have bought filament, and I can tell you right now, for decent, good filament that works for PLA, you can get it for about $30 for a kilogram roll. Even cheaper if you buy it in bulk in 5 kilogram. And for ABS, it's right around the same, give or take $1. So, and you can print quite a bit from a single roll of PLA. I'm guessing probably, I'm trying to figure if there's an example that I could give here. Actually, this would be a good example right here. So, I just recently printed this. This is my USB thumbstick holder.
And to anyone who asked 3D questions, I hope you guys are prepared for a 38-minute answer.
Okay, I'm sorry, I won't do a Newegg repeat. This right here,
you
could probably print like 40 of these with a roll of PLA. All right, so anyways, shut up, Jake. God damn it.
I'm still gonna hold the Newegg show against you.
I know that was God. I felt like such a douche after that, dude.
Let somebody else talk.
Yeah, Kyle's like, yeah, you only almost let somebody else talk. Oh, thank you, dude. When I get passionate, it's hard, dude. You can't stop the train when it gets moving. You just can't. So, anyways, Avery, I hope that answered your question in a very small amount of time, so I don't get griefed by the public for just going on and on and on and on. Let's see here. Tech Express.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What would you say the cost of the PLA to print trinkets and stuff is? Like, I mean, would you say, like, okay, it's an average of, like, it would cost maybe $1 to print something average size?
Yeah, to print something like this would be like under $1 in material.
Okay, what about the brackets you just made for your
those brackets? I could probably print about the larger bracket. I could probably print 4 of those from a roll, well, probably 3 of them from a roll of PLA, so probably about $10 a pop for those. But I mean, they're completely dense, they're completely filled, and they're huge.
So there you go, guys. Jerry has probably printed thousands of dollars worth of stuff already.
I have. That's a given. And I've probably thrown away hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that failed, like prints that failed. Yeah. So you got to factor that into it, too.
That's the other thing you have to keep in mind, is there's no such thing as a perfect print. Like, I mean, it's so much trial and error.
But that's just it with 3D printing, is it doesn't matter which 3D printer you get. You have to, it changes based on your environment, humidity in the air, temperature, stuff like that. So you just have to feel it out, play around with it, and find the right settings. But once you find the right settings and you get in your groove, I haven't had a failed print in actually a while. Like, everything that I've been doing has been coming off because I've just been following the rules, using my preset temperatures, using materials I'm familiar with, and it works out really nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Tech Express asked us, what are your guys' day jobs? I know we answer this a lot, so we'll keep it really short. I'm a senior software developer at Microsoft working on the Windows project. And Jay, what do you do?
Which aspect of my job?
Jay sweeps the floors. No, just kidding.
Jay's what?
I said you sweep the floors where you're at. Everybody used to call me the janitor of Microsoft. I was like, yeah, well, kind of, a little bit.
I work for a private company that writes software, but we write proprietary software based on what we're hired to do. So we can write pretty much anything, but we specialize in energy efficiency. So we write a lot of software for like the power companies and things like that. But I'm also an SQA on our software. I also have a job where I guess I have this new thing where I'm supposed to also rate the human interface. So I'm like,
you're the auditor from Office Space, basically.
Pretty much.
What is it? God, what were those guys' names?
Efficiency experts.
The Bills. Was it the Bills?
Yeah. The Bobs.
The Bobs. That's what it was. The Bobs.
I'm a Bob.
Yeah, you're a Bob.
But I also do internal consulting too, where I go into our different offices around the nation and also make them better at what they do. So I walk in and I'm like, okay, here's everything you guys are doing wrong in your jobs, and here's how to make it better. These are basically end users of our program, our software. And now I'm supposed to also help with like self-help tutorials and stuff within the company software sphere. So like you're using our software and you're like, what does this button do? And you click it and like a tutorial video comes up and helps you figure out what that button does, sort of thing. And because you can tell somebody at the company got wind of what I do. So.
It's good to feel important. Me, they don't let me interact with people too much because that always turns out to be a disaster.
I can see why.
But I'm a hell of a developer, and I'm good at solving problems and doing automation. Automation's my niche. That's what I do.
Jay works for the next Enron. No, we are not the power company. We work with the power company.
Guys, I can't talk about Windows 9. I can't even confirm its existence.
I can.
So Jay will. No, just kidding. So yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys. And another thing is, it's like I know that they've been kind of merging closer together than they have in the past, but I generally keep my YouTube channel separate from work. My day job, I go there, I flip a switch, I do my thing, and then I come home and then I do my hobby. I mean, this is my stress relief. So I don't want to spend my entire YouTube career answering Windows questions. Unless they're awesome Windows questions and I can actually answer them, then I'll take a crack at it.
Okay, Giovanni Montez, I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm muting you on Twitter. That was entirely excessive spam there.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, people have been being pretty good to me so far. Okay, so let's see. Yasser Fahim, I don't even know if I got that right. I'm sorry if I butchered that horribly, said, what are some good gaming laptops out there beside Alienware and Razer? God, man, a lot of people are really moving to laptops now. The truth is, most companies do build high-end laptops with high-end GPUs. They're not usually targeted at gaming. They're targeted like workstation and photo editing and video editing and stuff like that. I know Dell makes them. I know HP makes some pretty high-end ones. I actually had a Dell Inspiron laptop once that weighed like 25 pounds, but it had dual GPUs in it, and the thing was like phenomenally good, even for like 2 years I owned it. So yeah, they're out there. It's just don't go looking at them for as a gaming laptop, because those companies generally market their stuff as a professional. But in the end, I mean, you know, apples to apples, it's going to be a really, really fast. If it's got the right GPU in it, it's going to be fast regardless. And make sure you get an SSD, because laptop hard drives are slow as shit. What?
What's the hashtag we're using again to try and
ask Tech Talk?
Dude, this Giovanni Montez guy is posting like every 10 seconds.
All right, tell
everybody, go ban him.
Giovanni, just simmer down. We don't got to ban him. Just simmer. As long as he's being nice, just simmer down. Let's see.
Okay, so
I like this. Look, hey, Alex Miner says, Jerry, please suggest to Microsoft they need a new operating system completely different from Windows. Seriously? That's like me going to Apple and saying, you guys need something completely different than like your most successful product you've ever created in the history of anything.
Yeah, no. You could call it Doors.
The truth is, guys, I know people love to rib Windows when some things go wrong, or you know, the people don't like some things. But the truth is, Windows is the prominent desktop operating system in the world. It is. And if it was that big of a piece of crap and everybody else could do it better, nobody would be running Windows. You don't have to run Windows. I mean, Linux runs on your desktop. I'm just kidding. That was a stab at Ubu. But no, the thing is, I know some people that use Linux as their desktop, but it's not a viable desktop replacement because it can't run everything yet. It doesn't support DirectX. So if you're a gamer, that's out the window. If you do productivity things, I know they have stuff like Star Office and everything, but it's hard for an open source application like Star Office to compete with something that's actually like a paid application backed by billions of dollars of revenue. It's just it's hard.
I'm seeing some people asking if you're going to be upgrading your computer. I don't think the timing's right for you.
No. This is the thing is, I keep hearing that the 880 is like finally on its way down the pipe.
Well, not just GPUs, but CPU as well.
Oh, honestly, I'm gonna do a full rebuild around the GPU. When the 880 drops, whatever the current high-end CPU is, that's the overclocker. That I'm just going with it. Mm-hmm. Even though it might not be a huge improvement from the CPU side, from my hex core 3930K, I still want to just get up on cutting edge stuff, and I want to take the guts out of this machine and put it in my editing box so that I can just use that for. I'm going to put Chris Perillo. Everybody keeps asking me what I'm doing with Chris Perillo's 230-inch screens. I'm going to put them over here on this and use it for editing, because the color grading on those screens is a lot better than my TVs that I'm using right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of people are asking me too why I didn't wait for Broadwell. Well, that's like saying, why didn't I wait an extra year? What's the point in waiting? Because then then it would be like, oh, well, next year they'll come out with something else, so I might as well wait that year, and then you wait another year. I don't play that game, so I'll be doing Broadwell when it comes out. I'm in a position where I can do these things, but I don't recommend that everyday average builders upgrade as often as I do. That would be extremely cost effective.
I see a whole bunch of people over there asking about Nerd Block. Guys, the Nerd Block showed up late this month, and I just got buried, and I wasn't able to unbox it. I am going to unbox it, but I've also got this. It's a horror block. Horror block.
I'm jealous of that one.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really curious to see what's inside of here. So I will be doing an unboxing of that. And guys, my wife and kiddo are leaving me for a week.
So time.
So
only a week?
Yeah, they'll be back next Friday. So this is the longest I've ever been away from them, because you would have been the second, because I was down there for 4 days, and that was rough. So now I got to go 7 days without them. But the nice thing about that is now I'll be able to basically come home from work, make videos all night long, and do gaming. So I'm going to get heavily back into gaming this whole next week. I'm hoping that every night I at least stream for like an hour, some kind of gaming session.
So guys, you heard you'll get one stream.
You'll get one stream. Jay, push my buttons. We're going to do some gaming stream. I can't do like super, super long ones, but I do definitely want to start getting back into gaming like really, really bad.
You know what cracks me up is when I get these questions in the same sentence, and I've gotten probably a dozen of these over the last week or so. Hey Jay, when's Skunkworks going to be done? And why aren't you playing games lately?
Well, okay, Skunkworks takes up all the time Jay has, so he doesn't get to play games. But I have to say that Skunkworks is actually looking better than Red Mist. You guys, if you think Skunkworks looks better than Red Mist, and you've seen them both, don't just arbitrarily push anything. Push 1 if you think Skunkworks is better than Red Mist. 2 if you think Red Mist is better than Skunkworks.
But what I think is funny, though, is it's like in their question, they sort of answered themselves. Like, I'm not playing games because Skunkworks is it's not done.
I get the same thing, though. Everybody asks me, like, why I'm not doing gaming streams when I'm at work. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm at work. That's what I do. My work computer is a Z400 workstation by Hewlett-Packard. It's got a Xeon processor and no GPU. So
he works a very rigorous 15-hour week schedule, okay? Listen.
Shut up, dude. I work hard, damn it. I do.
He works hard for
his money. Works hard for his money. Yeah. Let's see. More questions. God, we got tons of chat. Seriously, we got 842 people in here right now?
Flying.
You guys, I'm getting nervous here. I'm not used to this kind of audience.
Imagine if I had the time to make a video saying that we were doing this tonight.
I know, right? We didn't do any advertisement for like an hour before this. That's great. Guys, we love you, because it's stuff like this that, honestly, that little number down there might not mean much to some people, but that's actually a big motivation. That tells me that a lot of people actually enjoy what we're doing, and that's a huge motivation to keep doing it. And that's why we're on Tech Talk 45.
And every time you guys click the like button, Jerry gets a poke in the back on a needle in his chair. So I recommend
every time you hit that like button, it takes like 10 minutes off my life. So you know what to do. Wow, look at all the ones, dude.
No, I see a lot of 2s in there, too.
There's a lot, but it's not dominant. Not even close. The ones are killing it.
To what the 3s are. I see some 3s.
Why'd you probably go back and look through it, and everybody's just hitting 1 like multiple times.
And Loopy Sausage did binary code.
10110010. Hold on, let me get out my ASCII translator. Oh my god, dude. Well, here, let's take a couple more Twitter questions while we're moving along, because I know today is going to be only an hour show, so I want to get as much interaction as we can. Let's see here. Ian Savage says, would it be better to have a Samsung 840 Pro or 2 lower cost drives in RAID 0? Now, he's talking about the SSD, the 840, and I think I have an 840 in my system.
I'm confused about his question, though.
He's basically asking if he should get an SSD or he should get 2 lower cost physical drives and run them in RAID 0.
But do the 2 lower costs in RAID equal the capacity of the one? So is he talking a bigger drive versus 2 smaller drives?
I see what he's saying better. I'm going to assume he means performance.
Then I would say the 1 drive.
I would just go with the single SSD, although I have done tests, and 2 smaller SSDs in RAID 0, depending on your controller, will be much faster, but then you run into the problem of garbage collection not working and fragmentation over time, and those will start to eat away at your performance.
And not only that, I do not recommend RAID 0 for an OS.
Yeah, don't.
Especially if you're planning on using the built-in RAID controllers in your motherboard. If you aren't using like a dedicated mid-grade to high-end RAID card, don't even bother with it.
Now, I agree for the most part, but for me, like for my YouTube stuff, I have a 6 terabyte external SATA array that I use with the internal RAID controller. But to be honest, my internal RAID controller is sufficient for that task because I'm using RAID 5. It's slow as hell. Absolutely slow as hell. But for what I'm using it for, just archiving, it's not a big deal for me. But just expect that with onboard RAID controllers, you're not going to get a hell of a lot of performance because they're heavily dependent on the CPU. They're heavily dependent on system resources, whereas a standalone RAID controller has all that on board, which is really nice.
Is your primary setup on a RAID for the OS or no?
No. Everything that's running the OS is an SSD running straight to my. I don't even remember the name of the controller. It's the standard SATA controller that's on board. Not
well.
The
There's
controller.
Marvel or SandForce.
It's Marvel in this case, not SandForce. Let's see here. So yeah, do that. Let's see, Celtic Fox. Let's see. He asked, why don't you set up a basic PC just for everyday use, Skype, surf, and such? Well, this is my. I mean, your best computer is your everyday use computer.
Right.
I mean, to me it is. I mean, it's hard for me to sit over there on a machine that has smaller screens unless there's some benefit to it. If this machine can do everything that machine can do, I'm going to use this machine. I'm going to use my big one. I'm sorry, you guys probably can't even see what I'm pointing at, my big screens. Now, the reason for having multiple machines is like if you have a server, obviously it's doing something that your main box doesn't. If you have an editing box where you have color-graded screens and stuff like that and a GPU that works better for rendering, then that makes sense to do that on that machine. But for all intensive purposes and like daily work and everything, why not use your most powerful thing in your arsenal? And that's what I do.
All right, one of the more common questions we're asked all the time, and this one is from Brandon Vega. He says, what headphones are you guys wearing, and what do you think of them? I am wearing the Munitio Pro 40s. These are a DJ headphone. They are stereo only, but they are very bass heavy, and I like a lot of bassy, like dubstep and stuff, so these are absolutely fantastic, and I'm sad you didn't get a chance to hear them when you were here.
We totally spaced on that, and that was like one of the things we wanted to do.
We went to do it at the end, though, but you got so sick and plugged up, you didn't think it'd be fair. Yeah,
no, actually, that's true. My ears were pretty shot. And on my side here, this is what's funny is, guys, if you haven't watched a lot of my videos, I'm not an audiophile. I'm a wannabe audiophile. I basically go buy a lot of really expensive headphones and try to give my opinion on them from a layman's perspective. But I have HD 800s, which are a $1,500 pair of headphones. I have Planner Magnetic HE 500s, and those are like a $500 or $700 pair of headphones. And I'm wearing right now, these are my go-to headphones. These are AKG 612 Pros that I picked up off Mass Drop, and honestly, they're so remarkably comfortable and so light on your head and around your ears, and they produce such a great sound quality that even though they're not quite as good as the higher-end headphones as far as sound quality, the comfort makes me just keep going back to them. That's why you see them in nearly every stream that I'm doing. It turns out comfort actually is kind of important when it comes to headphones. It's not just about sound.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. But, you know, when I started the venture, you know, don't get me wrong, though. When you're dealing with soundstage and stuff like that and you're listening to music and you want to be able to close your eyes and feel like you're in a huge auditorium and you're taking in the sound from multiple angles and stuff like that, a really high-end headphone like HD 800, you're never going to match it with anything else. I mean, they're freaking phenomenal. Just try a pair coupled with a good amp sometime. It'll blow your mind. But they're awkward on your ears, they're heavy, and when you move your head really fast, you know they're there. These, when I'm looking at these huge screens, my 346-inch screen, sorry I had to do that because Jay always gets after me when I talk about my 46-inch screens, but hey, you know, if you got a big one, you know, you're going to talk about it. That's all I'm saying. But ladies, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, when you're whipping your head around, I can whip my head around super fast with these, and they pretty much stay on my ears. The other ones, my HE 500s, if I whip my head like that, they would seriously spin around and be over my eyes and then be on the floor.
Windows 7 support ends January 15th or 2015.
Oh, God, I've been getting so many questions about that. Guys, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing. Just go install Windows 8. It's better anyways.
What's amazing is how quickly they discontinued Windows 7 support versus how long XP stuck around.
I think, and I can't question on this officially, but I think it had to do with XP was a huge government adoption. So we had to keep the support going for it. Yeah, I mean, literally, if the entire government's running something, you can't really like pull the plug on it. Windows 7, I don't think got the same level of adoption. And when they released Windows 7, they've revised their schedule. Like I know when XP came out, like literally they were supporting operating systems. I think it was for like 8 or 10 years. I don't know what the official time was for Windows 7, but obviously it wasn't nearly as long. But still, that's a pretty good go, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, what was it, 2000?
It would have been, Windows 7 would have released, in early 2008? God, I need to get it straight.
Maybe it was 2008. I remember I had the release client.
But still, that's a hell of a long time to support a piece of software. Not a lot of companies will support, one version of software for that long.
I'm still not ready to go to 8.1 given, quite honestly, the issues I see you have directly when it comes to NVIDIA drivers and SLI. And surround. I run okay, but to be honest, Jay, it doesn't have to do with the difference in operating system. It's the fact that I'm running an auxiliary display. As soon as I added that, everything got complicated. If I disabled the auxiliary, take it off.
Oh no, because I fucking love it, dude. Here, look. I mean, there you are up there. Hi, Jay, what's going on? You know, and you got the 346s down here, and then you got that 27 up there. I love it, but oh my God, NVIDIA Surround, the drivers are so buggy. When you enable that auxiliary display, everything goes downhill so freaking fast.
But do we know that those problems didn't exist in 7?
I never ran the auxiliary display in 7.
Right.
So that I don't know, but from the forums, it's pretty obvious it was, because there was, for a while there was a bug that was so severe, and they fixed that bug, but there was a bug in there so severe that everybody was in the forums, just pages and pages and pages of, oh my God, the video keeps hanging, but the computer's like still alive. I can hear the game, I can shoot my guns, but everything just stops drawing. And it took them a while to figure that one out, that it was the auxiliary display. As soon as you disable the auxiliary display, all those problems go away.
I'm glad you told me that, because I was debating doing a third or a fourth 24-inch monitor on top, but maybe I won't do that now.
The truth is, though, is Windows 8 actually has a better driver model than Windows 7. It's easier to recover, it's more efficient, it's faster.
But yet those problems have been keeping you from gaming.
They have, but that's the auxiliary display. I just need, you know what I need to do is I need to just suck it up and disable the damn auxiliary display. But I like to keep it on when I play iRacing, because it has all my shift data and it's got my tachometer and all that stuff on it.
I have news for you. It's not going to make a difference for your driving.
I know. And the funny thing is, even since you taught me how to drive and shave some time, I haven't had any time to get on my simulator. So maybe we'll do this. Jay, let's do this. Tomorrow night I'm busy. How about this weekend? Do you got like Sunday or Saturday? Do you think in the evening we could turn some laps at Lime Rock?
I think so.
Let's do it, and we'll tweet that out.
If I don't run into any snags with this thing along the way.
Awesome. All right, so here, let's blaze through some more questions here. Let's see. Ryan Yawn says, is it difficult and or stressful to be a programmer, and are you into robotics of any sort? Now, I've dabbled in robotics just for fun using like Lego Mindstorm. There was actually a competition at work a couple of years ago where we actually built battle bots using Lego Mindstorm and had to program them as a group. We had 1 hour to assemble and program a robot. And I'm not gonna lie, I came in dead last place. Like, my team was out of like 8 teams. I was the first. Geez. We were the first ones bumped out. So our design.
I
was
thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I made it to the finals.
No. Our robot, literally, we were shooting for the stars, and the damn thing, shit the bed coming out of the gate.
There was a Japanese robotics company in the crowd. They offered me a job as a head engineer.
To be fair, the first assholes we went up against just built a wedge. They just built a high-speed wedge, and we wanted to go for something that was cooler with like more moving parts and a blade. And so the wedge always wins for some damn reason. But I will say that the wedge didn't win the whole contest, which was an upset. But robotics aside, is being a programmer stressful? Of course it is. Most jobs are. Any job that you're paid for usually has a deadline associated with it, and the further that deadline gets away, the more stress that you have. Now, on the off chance that you're able to hit every one of your deadlines, then hey, it's a great job. But every once in a while, you've got like 1 day left before you have to put something into production or hand something off, and it's like nowhere even near done, and you're up all night, you don't sleep. I mean, there's been nights where I've literally been logged into work till like 4 a.m. working just to get caught up on something because people rely on it. You don't want to block people from getting their jobs done.
Okay, I want to answer Jaden Kester because he says he made a Twitter just to ask us this question.
Awesome.
And I looked through his Twitter to verify that he's not lying, and he's not. So.
Wow, that's rare.
Some people are like, yeah, I made this Twitter just to ask you, and you look, and they've got like 13 followers, and they're following 50 people, and they've got like 400 tweets. I'm like,
account created 1999. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said he made a Twitter just to ask us both this question: when am I going to your house, and when are you guys going to have a game of? And he didn't finish, and the suspense is killing me. So the question is, when are we going to have a game of blank? Hide the sausage. And when am I going up to Seattle? I was having a talk with the wife the other day about this, and I'm going to try and shoot if the time frame works and the money works and all that. I'm shooting for maybe October.
Ooh, that'd be perfect. That's my birthday month.
So I'm shooting 30th. For November. No, I don't want to buy you a present.
Bring presents, Jay. No, just give me like a week before you come up here so that I can actually clean the house. Because right now it's like it looks nice in here, but you walk out the door, it's like hoarders buried alive. I gotta like climb over piles of clothing and dishes and stuff. Yeah,
You've seen my house; it is no different.
No, your house compared to mine is like very well. Yeah, when you have kids, everything pretty much goes out the window. But no, Jay, I'd love to have you up here. It'd be awesome. Might even have to like set you up like a hammock or something up here in the man cave so that you can just like have access to everything 24/7 while I'm trying to sleep.
I just want to be randomly sleeping in the hammock while you're making a video.
But just to let you know, Jay, I will have a black light on in here at all times. So you watch it. You watch it, buddy. You keep it in the shower.
Well, remember, the black light doesn't do any good unless you actually have the spray that goes with it. So.
Oh, do you have to have a the movies lied to me. Oh, I've been using the black light all these years thinking that I wasn't catching nobody.
I don't know. I'm going by CSI. Remember, they can also scan the entire facial recognition database in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and they can zoom into like 380p video and make it 1080p. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, remember enhance.
enhance. I always laugh on Star Trek when they do that. It's like a picture from orbit. It's like enhance. Their software is so great. You can take a picture from like a cell phone from orbit and like zoom in and get all the facial features.
You get the serial numbers off somebody's laptop from space.
Let's see. Questions. Intel or AMD? Well, duh. Come on. That was from TRPLSQR. Was it Triple Square? Triple Square. Okay. Triple Square says Intel or AMD. I'm going to say Intel. And who cares what you think, Jay? Who cares?
I don't have an opinion.
Actually, the next question was for you. Nate Musquiz says, Jay, I remember you saying you lost a lot of weight. Are you still working out? And what kind of program do you follow?
I still work out regularly every single week. I go to the gym. I have personal training twice a week, and it's specifically agility and strength training. I'm like very plateaued at the moment. There becomes a point when you lose enough weight. I've lost 200 pounds, and there becomes a point when you lose a certain amount of weight. Your body's like, I'm going to stay here.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Your body is like, I'm going to stay at this weight unless you become like the Richard Simmons of diets.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm sorry, but I am not very diet oriented. I think, Jerry, you would have to agree, based on the 4 days you were here, I don't eat a lot.
No, you guys wouldn't believe this. Like I was having to like stop at the store and get provisions and stuff because Jay didn't eat enough for me to like survive. So I literally like went and bought Pringles and ate them in his room because he'd like just forget. The dude forgets to eat. He like eats like maybe twice a day.
But even then, when I do that, it's not much. Like when we went to that Chinese place, yep. I probably ate like 3 items, and
no,
by that,
you didn't.
Like one tasted.
I ate way more than you the whole time we were there. No, I can completely attest to that. Jay actually doesn't eat that much at all. Hey, I was going to ask you though, since I've been thinking about getting a personal trainer. Also, did you find it was like a big difference having a personal trainer?
Oh, my strength is through the roof.
So like having somebody like motivate you and tell you to do the right things really, really pays off.
Yeah, but my trainer is actually a bodybuilder. And
oh, really?
I mean, back in the late 80s, he showed me some pictures. I mean, dude worked out with Arnold. That's why the Arnold jokes are so funny to him, because sometimes we're working out, I'll bust out some Arnold, and he laughs so hard because he knows him personally. So he just cracks up like, oh yeah, that sounds just like him, yeah, blah, blah. But the thing with this is, when you lose so much weight, you lose a lot of lean muscle mass as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not moving around as much weight. And so my thing with him, and when I started training with him 3 years ago, I told him, I said, my body's not the kind of body that can make muscle. He's like, bullshit, everybody's body makes muscle. Your body's no different than mine. I said, but my body does just blah, 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 body structure. He's like, bullshit. So he was like, we're gonna do a weight training campaign. And granted, I'm not like He-Man or anything. When I first started with him, I was doing 30-pound dumbbell incline presses. And I was like struggling with that. I mean, now I can do 85-pounders with him on max sets and go for twice as many reps. And I mean, yesterday I was doing push-ups with my hands on medicine balls. So there's a lot of specialized training that we do, because I that's why I have such broad shoulders and
I think I'm gonna pay and try it, because that's the thing I do is I always go to the gym and then I go walk on the treadmill. And then when I get bored walking on the treadmill, I go pump a bunch of weight, and then I go home, and then the next day I feel like absolute shit, and then I never go do it again.
Well, that's the thing. That's when you have to keep going. Here's why. Okay, fine. Now we're going into health talk, but here is why.
I know two fat guys talking about health. It's awesome. Tell your friends.
Well, yeah, but I still do have the history of saying I was 500 pounds.
No,
so I got something at least in my credibility. But
yeah.
The reason why your body hurts so much after you do a workout, and I really hope that Chris is listening, because he would agree to this. Chris is the buyer of Red Mist, and he's also very health conscious. Your body ends up burning and hurting so much like it does the day after is because of the release of folic acid in your joints and things that are built up in your joints. And also, the reason why your body hurts is because you've torn those muscle fibers that are atrophied and have not been used. And what hurts is the replacement or the rebuilt muscle is actually holding those fibers together, and it's very stiff. So when you move your arms, you're like, oh, this hurts. You're kind of like re-tearing all of those minor fibers that are being healed. But it's the tearing and the rebuilding of those fibers that builds muscle.
So that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. But you also need to make sure you feed your body properly afterwards. Take protein, take after-work proteins and stuff, because proteins are the building blocks of muscle.
That's the difference. Back when because I used to weightlift. I actually used to weightlift with my good friend Aaron. And I even did it with my friend Greg. And in my max bench, I got up to 200. I could bench 250 10 times, which I went to the gym thinking I could still do that years later, and I think I was able to bench 120 pounds like 5 times. It was pretty damn pathetic. But anyways, when we did it, I just did everything he did. So what I was doing is we were drinking like muscle milk throughout the day. Then we'd go work out. We'd stretch before. We'd stretch after. Then we'd chug water all night long. We'd go back. We'd wait a day. Suffer the whole next day, and then the day after that, well, you were still pretty sore on the second day, but then you'd go back and you'd force yourself to do it all over again, and then you'd push each other. You know, you'd be like, "Come on, one more," and it's like when I go to the gym, I can't do that to myself. I've tried. Like I sit there and I'm like, one more," and I'm like, "Nope, it's all I got." There's something about somebody else yelling at you and motivating you.
That's really the other helps. Thing I want to comment on about training. The trainer for me, I don't pay him to tell me what to do in terms of like motivation. I'm plenty motivated. I had lost a lot of the weight before I met him. His job was to rebuild my strength.
Right.
But he teaches me the right way to do something. And if I can go to him and say, I want to work on this today, and he can show me, and he can keep it exciting and entertaining, because he comes up with some really fun ways sometimes, whether I want to work out with dumbbells, barbells, machines, free weights, cables, or just my own body weight. And so lately we've been doing a lot of just my own body weight, CrossFit type training, step ups with side squats, side lunges, karaoke's, which is like a crossover side sprint sort of thing.
But you're doing a variety of stuff. That's my problem is I never do a variety. I just go pump a whole bunch of weight and then get sore and go home.
One of my favorite exercises to do is a 16-pound medicine ball slam ball, but that hurts my back too much with my sciatic nerve problem. And I miss it because that gets your heart rate going.
I've got the same problem with the sciatic nerve. Oh.
But what we've been doing lately to work on balance, because he's noticed that we've left my low body out a bit, so we're reworking on stabilizing my core. Core is your ab muscles, butt muscles. Your low body and your mid body muscles. Is we've been doing there's the balance ball where it's like it looks like a yoga ball, but it's like a half moon shape and it's on a plastic platform. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a yoga ball, just half of it, but it's flat on the bottom. You put it on the ground.
Yep,
Some people jump on it. We flip it upside down so that you're standing on the platform and the rubber ball's underneath it, wobbling around, and you do squats on that. That's what I've been doing lately. And I'll tell you right
so you're
now,
having to constant make micro corrections.
Oh man,
okay.
My wife, because my wife works out with us. My wife and my trainer Robert were laughing because you start to get that involuntary twitch, right?
What the hell just happened with my camera? Oops, sorry, having a technical problem.
So you get that involuntary twitch where you're working the muscle to the max. And have you ever had that twitch? You're like, oh, okay, my muscles are spasming, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I actually get it to the point where it's so bad I can't stop it from shaking. Yeah.
Right. Now, when that's your thigh muscles and your butt muscles, when you're doing squats on that ball, the ball starts. I don't know if you can see my camera. Can you see my camera?
I can.
Okay, the ball starts to do this, and then it gets really crazy, and you're like, whoa, it's like speed wobble on a motorcycle. And my boss was like, oh my God, it's the big one. Earthquake. Not my boss, but my trainer. And he was like, whoa. So I at one point wanted to see how far it would go. It's like speed wobble on a motorcycle. You can't stop it. It only intensifies. So it starts really slow, and then it's like bam, 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 and it's hitting the side, and I jumped off the thing. But I've only done that now for 3 workouts in a row, and now I'm perfectly stable on it. So the key to all of this is just sticking with it.
Yeah, that's definitely the hard part for me too, and I'm just hoping that having a person there to help me will help cure that.
I wanted to take you to the gym while you were here, but then you got sick.
Oh, actually, that would have been cool. I would have totally been down for that. My camera is now in use by another application. Damn you all to hell! Here, let's see if I can get come back here.
The show is all mine. Yes. Everyone's like, no health, more tech. Well, guys, tech and health kind of go hand in hand. There is a technology in our bodies,
All right, well, enough of that health shit, dude. I should get my bag of Cheetos. It's sitting right over there.
I gotta go get my Klondike bars.
Oh wait, there was a really good question.
You think I'm kidding, don't you? I had Klondike bars.
I wish I had Klondike bars, dude. I don't. I'm gonna have my wife stock some things up.
Oh, a Klondike bar.
I would do a lot for a Klondike bar.
Remember, we would carriage flip the baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was catching grief for that today.
No, my camera's gone.
Oh, now your camera? Oh no, yours just came back. Mine didn't.
Okay.
Mine said, "Oh, Skype stole it. Skype took the cameras away." Here, let me see. All right, guys. Well, you won't be able to see me for the rest of the stream, but it's okay. We're almost done anyways. Richard asks, when you're doing software development, how much algorithmic programming do you do? Well, I do quite a bit of algorithmic programming.
Isn't it mostly?
Yeah, I mean, mostly, but I think what he means is like, am I just using a bunch of high-level APIs to achieve something simplistically, or am I actually creating things that, customize the way objects are sorted and moved and things are stored in memory? And the truth is, it depends on the project I'm on. Some projects where I'm doing application development, there's not a hell of a lot of algorithmic programming, but when I'm doing stuff that's lower level, mainly in C and C++ and stuff like that, where you don't have that high-level object management that you do in C# in a managed language, I tend to do more there. But the truth is, with the type of programming that I do, I'd say more often than not, I'm just using standard APIs and stuff like that, and very, very generic math. I mean, a lot of people ask if you need to know a lot of math to be a developer. Depends on what you're developing. If you're developing games, yeah, you need to know a lot about vectors. You need to know some geometry, spatial awareness, things like that, physics. I mean, you don't need to know that to be an application developer unless you're developing an application that computes those things. So moving along. Oh, hey, Nick Green just confirmed luminol is the spray that you need to use, and it's only for blood. Other fluids work fine. So my black light will work. See, good thing I told you, Jay, because you're gonna be like, oh, I'll show him. And then I come up here and I'd be like, oh my god,
Jay has claimed your keyboard.
I'm like, all right, Jay, have a nice day. And as you're like driving away, my house is on fire, and I'm just standing in the front yard crying.
Mission accomplished.
Let's see. Going down here, let's find some other questions. Okay, so Jaden Kester says, when will you and Jay have an FPS game off? Well, I'm hoping like sometime next week we do some. We play some Battlefield.
I would already win.
No, dude.
Our problem is we start to have too much fun like blowing up vehicles and things that have nothing to do with the objective.
I can't. I'm trying to show you something and I forgot my camera's not working. No, I was going to show you I put my trackball. I can
see your camera.
No, you can, but they can't. So no, I was showing you my trackball. I was going to be like, dude, I'm going to FPS with the trackball and see how well that goes. That's going to be awesome.
I tried to play Skype when Skype was in beta. Counter-Strike. I tried playing Counter-Strike long before 1.0, and it was still in beta with a trackball. It was 1999.
That's funny. Oh, over in chat, Blues Ma said, Jerry, what is your exact job, and what did you do in college to obtain your job? I can't tell you what my exact job is, but I can tell you I didn't obtain it through college. I dropped out of high school, got my GED, and I don't have a single certification to my name. I'm a self-taught developer. I started programming on an Apple IIe when I was 7 years old, moved up through Pascal, learned my first C syntax language, then moved to, moved to an object-oriented language and just kept on going. It's just something that's fascinating with me, and when you're passionate about something, you just keep learning about it. I mean, the truth is, school is important. It is today, but 15 years ago, I mean, when you were a developer and you could prove your skills, the schooling didn't matter as much.
My answer to that question is always, school gets you the interview, passion will get your job.
That's true. Let's see here.
And I get to go and talk to those high school and college kids tomorrow about working in tech. Specifically, you know what's funny? The school was like, we really want you to talk about your career, but we also want you to talk quite a bit on your YouTube aspect and how that all came about. I'm like, really? You guys are more interested in my YouTube career than my day job in tech? Okay, I'll talk about whatever you want.
Oh, you got to admit, though, just like anything in life, YouTube's actually been a pretty good educational experience.
I think a lot of people, especially official organizations, are still a little baffled by it.
I'd imagine that they are, but the thing is one of the things a lot of jobs like require, not all jobs, but in a programming job, being a good speaker and able to communicate with other people is an important skill. It really is. Like, you have to be able to get along with your peers. You have to be able to convey a message. If you have a YouTube channel where every video is like, I can review products and explain them in a way that, people that aren't an expert in that field can understand, that's a big deal. I mean, being able to do that. So demonstrating those abilities are great. Now, the videos of you basically telling 12-year-old kids to, turn off their Xbox and, go out and play in traffic. Now, those videos probably aren't as important to your employers. But, the overall effect is it demonstrates that you're passionate about something. It demonstrates that you can put a lot of time and energy into something. Those are all good traits to look for in somebody.
I'm going to answer Noah Donasso's question, and we need to start wrapping up too. He says, What has been the most important tech accomplishment in the past year, in your opinion? I don't think I can answer that because I don't judge my successes and failures in terms of 1 year. I look years.
Is he talking about our tech accomplishments or tech accomplishments in general?
No, he said ours, yours and mine. What are our tech accomplishments in the last year? And I'm saying I don't measure my accomplishments on a 12-month by 12-month basis.
Yeah, that's definitely a really hard one.
I can tell you what I'm proud of having happened in the last 5 years, and that would be, breaking into my career, creating my job. And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about my job at my office. And they made a position for me because I proved it, that it was needed and necessary, and my responsibilities have grown dramatically. Yeah, traumatically too, but dramatically since I've taken up the position. So I'm proud of that. But again, that's actually more like an 8-year accomplishment.
Yeah.
You can't go year by year and look and benchmark yourself that way.
Yeah, that's the other problem with me is it's like most of my technical accomplishments this year involved work, and that's not something that, I can't talk about my projects. I can't really say what I've accomplished, but no, I've definitely made people's jobs a lot easier, and that's my job, and I've learned the things to make that happen, and that's, that's what really gets me going. But as far as in my hobby, I would say as far as technical accomplishment, it's been my editing and my camera work. I think if you watched my videos a year ago, you can see that I've improved on all counts. And that's something that's been an ongoing thing that I've been trying to improve. I'm doing tutorials. I'm learning how to do things. I mean, I'm definitely trying to make an effort to create videos that you guys don't look at and go, oh my God, why is he green? Why is why do I hear that fan noise in the background, right? You notice you still hear it a little bit, but my old videos, it was like, hey, how's it going, guys? You just hear that through the whole video.
Well, there's an evolution that takes place in these videos.
Definitely.
Real quick, Ultra Kababu or something says, Jay's in your test rig, can you fit a fan besides the EVGA Supernova G2 power supply? I'm looking at it right now, and the side panel is open. Yes, it does look like you could fit, even with the 1,000 watt, the long power supply, you could fit a 120 fan in there. Not a 140, but you could fit a 120 in there if your cables don't touch it. So yeah, you could fit one in there.
A couple more quick ones. Dan Halen said, my hard drive is slow when dealing with Steam downloads. Is there a way I could fix this without buying a new hard drive or SSD? Well, first, make sure it's not your internet connection that's the problem. Because if it's a download, chances are it's not your hard drive. It's actually the throughput coming from the Steam server. But if your hard drive is getting slow, attempt to defrag it. Because if your drive is a physical media drive and it gets fragmented, it's going to slow down read-write operations hugely. And I've seen drives go without, that get like 98% fragmented before, where they're less than a quarter of their original speed.
Right. Seeing lots of people asking me now what my day job is. Obviously, you guys have joined late.
Yeah,
I answered it around probably minute 40 of this stream, but when we put up the timestamps, you can find it there. We've already answered that.
Yep. Let's see. What is the best racing wheel setup? Funyun asks, and that's subjective, but. For me, it's like the T500 RS is awesome, but I've also used a Club Sport V2 or a Club Sport wheel from Fanatec. What is it, Fanatic or Fanatec? One of the two. And I love that wheel. I absolutely do. Their BMW wheel. Like if I could go over and do it over again, that would be the one that I get. But as far as like the workhorse, like if you want one that's always going to work, it's never going to have problems, Jay nailed it. It's the G27. The Logitech G27 is the workhorse of the force feedback wheels.
If you aren't after like that super realistic feedback of the pedals or the wheel, I mean, it's going to get you by. It's going to make driving games fun, but the wheels are smushy and sloppy, or not the wheel, but the pedals are kind of mushy, and there's mods you can do to them. But again, then you start talking about higher costs, and by the time you get done modding the G27, you could have bought like a Club Sport or something.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, like, replacing the pedals is probably, like, the biggest thing that I would do if you had a G25 or a G27. But realistically,
that's going to run you a couple $100.
The only thing you're going to get from the bigger wheels, as opposed to the G27, is you're going to get a smoother wheel, because the G27 is directly gear driven, so you get that.
Oh,
you can feel the notchiness. It's not a very smooth wheel.
Right.
The Club Sport wheel, however, the same thing with the T500. It's smoother than the G27, but not by much. The Club Sport wheel, however, has like a linear drive motor connected with a belt. It literally feels hydraulic. There's no notchiness at all to it. And it can produce a hell of a lot of pressure, but it can apply it very, very slowly and evenly. And that's so it feels like a real car wheel is what I'm getting at. Yeah. And so, but again, you get what you pay for, right? I mean, that wheel is going to cost you probably like $500 or $600 once you get all the accessories and everything you need to go.
Yep. All right. Well, I think it's time to start wrapping this up. And by doing so, I think we should have a little vlogception going here.
And my camera doesn't work.
Look, you guys are on TV, I think.
but you still see me on Skype, so.
This is kind of weird now because I'm actually recording this, which is going to be ending up in part 4. I think we're on part 4. Whatever.
Yep. Hey, make sure you record the chat, too, so that some people can recognize themselves in your vlog.
Oh, yeah. What's funny is it's all going to be a minute later. So let's see. What were the most recent comments here? Why is there pop-ups in my screen? Less porn. Less porn. That's my advice.
Oh, my gosh. All right, guys. Well, this was an excellent stream. I can't believe we maintained over 800 live viewers. If you could hit that like button on your way out, it would really, really help us out.
I'm hitting it right now.
Gotta hit that like button.
I done hit it.
Yeah.
You'll see it on my Twitter feed now. It says, I like this video.
And guys, this has been a huge motivator to keep doing the show. I'm sorry that we didn't have a more planned show this week, but something tells me I personally like these shows better than the planned shows. I know a lot of people like the structure and everything like that, but for me, it's nice to be able to just sit down with Jay and you guys and just shoot the shit about awesome stuff that's technology, sometimes wandering off into the non-technology. You know, it's just a fun, all-rounded out experience. But don't worry, there will be some structured shows in the future, so just like everything else we do, some people like some of it, some won't. And, yeah.
We cater to all of our fans, and hopefully next week Jerry's camera won't decide to take a poop.
Yeah, that was really strange that it did that. But you know what? Overall, I think the stream went really well, and I was streaming at 1080p, 3,000 kilobits per second, which is the highest I've ever streamed at, and I haven't dropped a single frame in an hour. That's insane. I've never thought I'd be able to do that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead.
So what's our keyword going to be this week?
Oh yeah, the keyword. Let's do. How about hashtag Jay's balls? Let's do that.
With a Z. It's gotta be Jayz.
Jayz. Here, let's put it in the chat too, just so they know. So it's gonna be
Jay's
hashtag
balls.
Jay's balls. This is gonna be the hashtag. Use that hashtag on Twitter when you tweet us if you watched the stream in its entirety. Now, if you just came in at the very end, don't do that. Go watch the stream. Go watch the whole thing. Come on. Don't cheat.
Damn it, Jerry. Do you not listen? I said Jay's balls with a Z. Balls. B-A-L-L-Z.
No, just do it. Just do it the way I said it.
It sounded like five times.
No, I did Jay's balls.
That's why we can't have nice things.
All right, guys. Just here. All right, fine. No. Forget that. It's Jayz B-A-L-L-Z. All right. It's Jay's balls. I hope that's the first and the last time that I ever had to say Jay's balls that many times in a row. But yeah, use that hashtag. It basically lets us know that you guys are watching the stream, and if we see it like a week or two, we still see hashtags from like shows we did 2-3 weeks ago. And that's really cool because it lets us immediately know that they watched that show. That's awesome. And
no, don't hashtag it now, guys. You got to do it.
Yeah. Just wait a little while. Give it a little while.
It's not technically over yet.
All right, guys. Well, Jay's got to get back to building computers. I got to shoot video and hang out with the family before they leave me for 7 days. And then I got to go cry into a pillow when they leave because I'm not a very self-sufficient human. I'm probably going to die not having like supervision for my wife and kid for a week. But
don't worry. I'll be here to take your
Will
stuff.
You digitally take care of me, Jay?
Well, no, I'm just gonna come take your stuff.
You're just gonna wait until I'm a corpse. You're just gonna Skype call me until I don't answer anymore, and then like come loot my corpse.
I will reluctantly hold the pillow over your head.
And you're a dick. And on that note, guys, see you next time.
Play the outro.
Outro.